share the call, but I can come back to you, Senator Patterson.
Thank you, Chair. I have some further questions on notice that have been unanswered that I want to follow up on. So I wondered if relevant officials could come back to the table and also whether they've got an update on the questions I asked before. But I'll proceed in the meantime. This is questions from the November estimates round, SE 24012 and SE 24004. They relate to the Australian flag matter in the department's headshots. Ms Foster, you remember I asked you for any document or communication relating to it, which you agreed to provide, and I also asked by what means the Australian flag and other flags were airbrushed from the departmental headshots, and you agreed to provide that, but I have not had answers to either of those questions. So I wonder if Ms Sharp could assist, or whether you're able to assist Ms Foster as to why those questions haven't been answered and what the answers are to those questions.
So, Senator, on the question relating to all documents across the range of media, we are still in the process of making sure that we answer that question fully for you. Obviously, with an organisation of this size, a request for all means a pretty comprehensive search, and my officers were telling me that, for example, as they've been checking the answer, they will find a reference to a document in something else that's not included. So they're doing that quality assurance at the moment. Mm-hmm. On the other...
Just before you move on to the other one, I mean, how many employees were involved in the airbrushing of the flag out of the headshots? Like, I thought it would be a small number, but it sounds to me like, in fact, it's a large number.
So, Senator, the technical task of removing the flags from the headshots obviously is a small number of people, but you asked for any document relating to that issue at all, and so obviously there are others who would have been consulted, commented, etc.
How many people, would you have a big meeting about this? Was it a long email chain? How many people were involved in the decision to airbrush the flags out of the photo?
I don't have that detail, Senator.
Well, it sounds like it's a large number if there's a lot of documents and a lot of people that need to be consulted.
So, Senator, we have a large number of groups across the organisation.
Yeah, but I mean, is this an all-in meeting with the entire department and its senior leadership? What are we going to do about these flags in our photos?
So, Senator, I think I indicated to you in the hearing in November.
Yep.
When you asked the question, that in fact it had been a very small amount of my time. I had simply indicated that I wished for the photos to be made less formal by the removal of the flags. I'm not conscious, Senator, of the full process that followed that.
Sure, but your evidence now is that you haven't been able to provide this question on notice in the 3 or 4 months since, which is now long overdue, because the documentation involved is so voluminous that you're still collating it all. We spent 3 months collating it. I mean, those answers seem inconsistent to me.
So, Senator, I didn't indicate that the volume was voluminous. I said that it's a large organisation. In order to ensure that we meet a request for all, we need to consult widely. I didn't...
Yeah, but if you have to consult widely, it implies that a lot of people are involved in this decision.
So, Senator, I don't think it does imply that. It implies that in order to meet the terms of your question, I needed to ensure that I was asking across the organisation.
Sure, but if people weren't involved, it'd be a quick answer. No, I don't have any documents, I wasn't involved. If they were involved, maybe the answer's longer. Yes, I'll have to search my WhatsApp messages and my Signal messages and my emails. I mean, I shouldn't need to remind you, but I think the evidence from November was that this change was made around July or August of last year, which was at the height of the Direction 99 disaster and various scandals involving NZYQ. Serious department time was apparently spent on this flags issue when the bread and butter issues of the portfolio were in a total mess.
So, Senator, that's not my evidence. I said that we're going through a process of asking and quality assuring. I also was very clear at the last estimates that we were extremely focused on the challenges in front of us at that time, and we have been working very hard to make sure that those issues are being dealt with, and I'm sure you'll see the results of that in the relevant outcomes.
Well, yes, we'll look forward to coming to that when we can. I interrupted you. You were about to provide also an answer on the second matter, on the what was involved in removing the flags.
So, Senator, I don't know where that question notice is. It's not one that, in the same way as I just spoke about the other one that I've been personally tracking.
Are there any officials who can come forward who could assist you?
I'm sure there are, Senator.
Senator, would you mind repeating the question for me?
Yeah, I'm looking for answers to SE 2412 and SE 24004 in relation to the removal of the flags from the portraits of senior officials of the Department of Home Affairs.
I've dealt with the one that relates to the documents.
Yeah. So we've drafted the other response, and we're aiming to finalise that as soon as possible for you, Senator.
Okay. So do you anticipate that that could be provided today?
We'll see what we can do.
I'll gratefully take an answer over the table. Doesn't need to be in writing. Just, I mean, the Parliament could be prorogued within days, and months-long overdue questions haven't been provided that should be quick and easy to answer.